Buenos dias, world! If you're planning your first trip to Tijuana and you've been thinking about crossing the border on foot but unsure what to do or what to expect, watch this video. After plenty of trial and error, we've learned a few things that can make your trip a whole lot smoother. In this video, we're sharing 8 tips to help you cross the border, get around the city safely, and make the most of your stay. And if you're coming for the food, which you so should, we've got a taco tour coming up in the next video, so stay tuned. Tip number 1. Where to park on the US side. If you're driving to San Isidro, there are 2 parking lots that we usually use before walking across the border. We typically leave our car overnight, and on weekends we've paid around $18 for every 10 hours. Prices can change, so always double check before your trip. The first parking lot is the one closest to Jack in the Box. From there, it's only about a 7-minute walk to the border entrance. The second lot is closer to the pedestrian bridge, and that walk takes about 15 minutes. Neither walk is difficult, and on a cool, breezy day, it's actually pretty nice. Before heading to the border, you'll notice several currency exchange booths near the McDonald's by the trolley station. If you want some Mexican pesos before crossing, this is a convenient place to exchange a little cash. Also, keep in mind that there are 4 pedestrian crossing entrances between San Diego and Tijuana. Entry points and operating hours can occasionally change, so it's always a good idea to check the U.S. Customs and Border Protection website before your trip for the latest updates.
Tip number 2. Use the restroom before you get in line. This might sound simple, but trust us, it can save you from a very uncomfortable wait doing the pee-pee dance. Whether that's during your drive down to San Isidro or at the Jack in the Box or McDonald's near the entrance. Take advantage of it. Once you're in line, you're committed. You never know how long the wait will be, especially during the weekends or holidays, and leaving the line means starting all over again. Tip number 3. Entering Mexico the right way. So when you arrive at the pedestrian crossing, pay attention to which line you're joining. If you're entering Mexico as a foreign visitor, you gotta stay to the right. We actually seen several people wait in the wrong line for quite a while, only to be told at the front that they had to go all the way back and start all over. That's definitely not something you want to experience, especially when the lines are long. If you cross early on a weekday morning, you might get through immigration in as little as 3 minutes. On the weekends, holidays, or busy travel days, it's not unusual to wait anywhere from 30 to 40 minutes, so arriving earlier can really save you time. Also, no cutting. If you have a disability, you could walk to the front of the line, or if you're elderly and it's obvious that you can't sit or stand, you could definitely get to the front. But we did see some privileged people try to walk all the way to the front. I let them know they had to go all the way to the back because this was no playground and there was no way I was letting them slide on into the line.
Tip number 4. What you'll need. Okay, let me tell you, entering Mexico is pretty straightforward. All you'll need is your valid US passport. Don't worry about using your Century or Global Entry card when entering Mexico. Those are helpful when you return back into the US, not your entry to Mexico. At immigration, the officer may ask you a few simple questions, like how long you'll be staying and whether you're visiting for tourism or business. They'll stamp your passport and you're ready to go. If you're carrying a backpack, you'll place it on the X-ray conveyor belt before walking through the metal detector. The process is much easier than airport security. You won't need to remove your shoes, empty all your electronics, or do anything like that. If you are not carrying a backpack, don't accidentally get into the back screening line. Just continue straight through the metal detector. There is one restroom inside the building near the exit on the right side, and another public restroom farther outside along the pathway to the left. Both usually charge a small fee to use. Tip number 5. The best way to get around TJ. Once you've crossed, we highly recommend using Uber. As soon as you're outside, request your ride and use Roma Pharmacy as your pickup location. It's a popular meeting point that's easy for drivers to access. Another option is to walk a little farther to your right, away from the busy traffic. Uber is generally much more convenient. Most rides to hotel along Agua Caliente cost around $8 to $10. Trips to downtown are often under $5. And getting around the city usually costs only $3 to $5, depending on where you're going. We also prefer Uber because everything is tracked through the app. You can easily share your trip with family, know exactly what you'll pay before you ride, and avoid any language barrier by simply entering your destination in the app.
Tip number 6. Where to stay overnight? If you're planning to spend the night in TJ, where you stay depends on the type of trip you're looking for. If you want to be within the walking distance of restaurants, nightlife's bars, and local attractions, downtown Tijuana or Zona Rio are both great options. If you're looking for a quieter experience with a more upscale vibe, the hotel, spas, and nicer restaurants, the Agua Caliente area is an excellent choice. If you're looking for Chinese food, Zona Norte might be the place just for you. Tip number 7, where to explore. One of the biggest misconceptions about Tijuana is that there's nothing to do beyond tacos. While tacos are definitely worth the trip, there's so much more to experience. Start with Avenida Revolucion. This is the city's famous tourist street filled with souvenir shops, local vendors, restaurants, live music, bars, and the iconic Tijuana Arch. If you're interested in culture, stop by the Tijuana Cultural Center. The architecture alone is worth seeing, and there are museums, exhibits, and events throughout the year. Zona Rio is another great area filled with shopping centers, cafes, breweries, and modern restaurants. And speaking of restaurants, TJ food scene is incredible. Besides amazing tacos, you'll find fresh seafood, Argentinian steakhouses, Italian restaurants, sushi, and even Chinese food. It's one of the most underrated food cities in Mexico. As for safety, we always recommend staying within the main tourist areas, especially if it's your first visit. During daylight hours, these neighborhoods can get busy with locals and tourists. Just use the same common sense you would try in any major city around the world.
Tip number 8, crossing back into the States. Now let's talk about heading back. Before leaving your hotel or restaurant, check the official CBP website to see current wait times and whether any pedestrian crossings are temporarily closed. If you're taking Uber back to the border, your destination depends on which crossing you plan to use. For PedWest, use Chaparral Hotel as your destination. For the San Isidro crossing, use PedEast MX.
How fast?
You go to San Diego or only cross the border?
Just cross the border.
My service in 10 minutes for the cross the border and minute.
10 minutes?
The line is 2 hours and a half for the line. This is over there.
2 hours and a half? Yeah, is that what you're talking about, the car? Or are you going to bring me in a
No, the car, the Cross Express.
Yeah, I want to try. Let's go. 20? Yeah. Let's go. Yeah, one time when we came, like, homeboy just, like, walked us up to the front. Yeah. And they just made us cut. And I was like, damn, I paid $20 to grow a set of balls? You can go in the back.
Okay, thank you, gracias. So they just dropped us off over here. PedWest has historically been much faster than PedEast by hours, although its operating schedule has changed over the years and limited hours may apply. If you plan on using PedWest, arrive early because they may stop processing pedestrians before the posted closing time. Now, if you have global entry or sentry like we do, returning to the US is actually very fast. It took us about 10 minutes using either entry point. Without those, wait times can vary dramatically depending on the day, season, and time of the day. We've tried both entry ports before without using our global entry cards, and it can take hours to get across.
Liquor, I think. Thank you, appreciate it. Very helpful tip them. Watch where you're walking because some people like to take a dump in the middle of nowhere.
Oh, let's go right here.
And you could tell it's not dog stuff. I think they're trying to make a political statement. For what? What do you mean, no money?
Overall, we've always enjoyed visiting TJ. It's a fun city with incredible food, friendly people, and plenty to explore. Like any destination, stay aware of your surroundings. Stick to the tourist areas if it's your first visit. Avoid wandering unfamiliar neighborhoods late at night. And remember, respect the local culture. In our next video, we're taking you on a taco tour to show you some of our favorite places to eat in TJ. So make sure you're subscribed because you definitely don't want to miss this one. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next adventure. Bye!